Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Taya Salam. Many thanks for joining us again.
All right, this is what the show will be looking like this morning. And we're starting with the Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership. It's Super 6. And Edo Queens will be seeking redemption today when they face FC Robo. They're yet to get a point, and Robo, they're top of the league. And another battle, a battle of the creek between Bayelsa and Rivers Angels.
Should be another interesting match day in the NWFL Super 6 later today in Ijebu. Of course, you can stick to us, so stick with us for all the updates from that tournament on the show tomorrow. Also on the program, it's a winning start for Ryan Mason, the youngest Premier League manager. You know, was in charge, of course. Tottenham defeated Southampton by 2-1. Not the most convincing of wins, Cecilia, but it's all 3 points.
It was worth it. Gareth Bale scoring a spectacular goal. It's something. Son had one disallowed VAR, but the second time he was lucky to give them that victory. All right, also on the program, of course, the NBA, Steph Curry, his hot streak is actually over. But then the good news is Washington Wizards extended their streak to 6.
Wow. That's very interesting. The Washington
Wizards
against the Golden State Warriors. It was a matchup between Steph Curry, the hottest player in the NBA right now, going up against Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. At the end of the day, it was Bradley Beal and Westbrook prevailing in that superstar matchup. And that's how the Washington Wizards were able to get the 6th straight victory. We'll come back to this particular game shortly. But there were other games played as well.
On the 9th, yes.
12 games in total. Cecilia,
so
was
many.
A packed slate of NBA games. And we have all the results for you.
Yeah, Chicago Bulls starting with that. And
right.
The Cavs.
They lost against the Cavs 121-105.
But the good news is Alfredo Camino played.
Finally played.
Yeah,
right?
he finally played. Well, he didn't get a point. But he had some rebounds and assists. It was 7 rebounds. Yeah. He got some minutes.
Got some minutes, about 7 minutes a day. About Alfredo Camino, I mean, is a veteran now in the game, and I'm sure he knows that he's not really in the plans of the Chicago Bulls.
Well, he was traded. I mean, he was traded from the Magic to the Bulls. So if they don't want him,
no, trades. That's what they do. That's trades. You get traded anywhere. Wherever you land, you land. And when you get there, and the coach doesn't really fancy you.
Yeah.
You just have to, you know, take it on the chin, and that's what has happened to Alfred. Most times he's always been buried at the end of the bench.
Yeah, so just come up the bench and see how much he can contribute.
Anyways.
For the Cavs, Isaac Okoro, as usual, you know, it was also, I mean, he's not becoming irregular now for them.
Of course. So great win for the Cavs right there as well, too, in the Eastern Conference. Let's move on quickly to the Pacers and Indiana and OKC Thunder. 122-116 in favor of Indiana in that game. And elsewhere, the Suns and the 76ers ended 116-113. This was a very dramatic game. Of course, it was Chris Paul and Devin Booker leading the way for the Phoenix Suns. But Joel Embiid had a chance to send the game into overtime. But his effort from 85 feet rattled in and out of the ring. Very painful. You should have seen his reaction when that ball came out again. It just
fell on the ground and what happened here?
Hail Mary shots.
It just didn't, I mean,
but no cigar.
Very close.
Yeah. Anyways,
got off the rim. I mean, that's kind of feeling.
So the Suns, Cecilia, we got to give them a lot of credit on the show this morning.
Just staying hot.
Very, very hot. NBA best road record, 19-7. That seems to really watch out for in the playoffs. And it's not a coincidence that they were very, very good in the bubble.
Yeah. And they continue with that. You know.
And after adding Chris Paul, Chris Paul does that to almost everything that he plays on.
Yeah,
so
you're right about that. And now they've improved their record to 41-16. And they're
second overall.
Second in the West.
Great guns.
And if you check, the 76ers are actually #1 in the East, 39-18. So that's how tough the West is.
The West is it's Wild West.
Joel Embiid, 38 points, collected 17 rebounds. But that wasn't enough. Because when you have Chris Paul, Devin Booker, those two guys, they're just something else.
Anyway, so shout out to the Phoenix Suns, the second best team overall in the NBA. Let's move on to the Warriors and the Wizards. That's our focus. That's the game we'll be focusing on later on the show. Ended 118 to 114 in favor of Washington. There were also wins for the Toronto
Raptors
Raptors.
over the
Yeah,
night. Yeah.
that's very interesting.
No Kevin Durant, no James Harden. So Kyrie Irving had to carry the team. He had just 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. But that was out. But Pascal Siakam, I mean, at 27 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, to reel off 26-23. That deficit that they had in that third quarter, but somehow they were able to bounce back and they got the victory. All the players were just contributed a whole lot. Manu Ginobili, everyone contributed. So it was a good one. Fred Van Vliet and all that.
Yeah, great win for the Toronto Raptors. The Knicks are starting to look like one of my favorite teams in the NBA this season. 137 to 127, 10-point victory over the Atlanta Hawks. Julius Randle, of course, 40 points,
40.
10 rebounds.
11.
11 rebounds, right?
6 assists, including 6 3-pointers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What a player.
Add that to it.
What a player. 8 wins in a row for the New York Knicks. They will make the playoffs at this rate. All right, the Rockets, I don't know what's going on. They lost to the Jazz, 112 to 89. Jordan Clarkson with 22 points in that victory. There were also wins for the Miami Heat, the LA Clippers, the Portland Trail Blazers lost against the Nuggets, as well as the Timberwolves. They lost against the Sacramento Kings. So that's it for the NBA for you. Let's quickly talk about the star match of the day. The Wizards against the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, that incredible run of form, had to end some time, and he ended against the Golden State Warriors. In this game, you have to give a lot of credit to Russell Westbrook, who was the primary defender on Steph Curry. Steph Curry ended with just 18 points on the night, 7 of 25 shooting, including 2 of 14 from three-point range, and that's very, very poor by his very high standards.
He was double teamed all the while.
That's how you go. That's how you
There was no
Steph
time, no
Curry.
space, nothing. I mean, his shot, he just shot about 2 from 14. He only at 3 points, just 2. It was
not great at all. You see the celebrations at the end there for the Golden, for the Washington.
So for Steph Curry, 30-plus points that he had came to an end. Before we talked about, we still stick with tennis, but this time around is table tennis. Now, a Nigerian player is ranked world #1 in cadet
category,
right? Which is pretty
very
cool.
interesting.
Mustafa.
That's very cool.
Yeah, when I saw them, like, I had to read the news again to be sure that this is it. Now, that's the young,
major.
That's the young boy right there. It's a major one. It's something we'd all have to celebrate because Musa Mustafa has been ranked world's best in the boys on the 11 by the International Table Tennis Federation. He's based in Abuja. I mean, he's become the second African to be rated #1 in the world after Hannah Goda was, she was ranked in 2020. She was ranked the best on the 15 girls in the world. So that's another Nigerian right there, just making waves in the junior circuit, because he was able to, he was part of the Nigerian team that took part in that 2019 ITTF junior circuit in Ghana, and the world governing body, talking about tennis now, have been monitoring him in the last 3 years. And of course, he also made his debut in Nigerian Open in 2018. And so he's been growing and he's been monitored, and right now he's ranked #1. So that's a good one for this.
Big Nigeria's got a big talent on their hands, and it's all about helping this guy, continue to progress. From under 11 to under 15, eventually to a full-fledged professional player for the country. And he's got all these players to look up to in the country.
So Aaron Okodre is
exactly. We have to say the NTTF as well too. They seem to know what they're doing. One of the better run federations in the country as well.
No crisis.
So,
I love it. And it continues. The tournament continues.
Austin is ready.
Austin is ready to join us, right? I'm going to ask Austin about this boy. I believe Austin may have seen him, because there are some players that you see and you just enjoy what they do and you just want to follow them and monitor their progress. Austin, good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning, Cecilia. It's good to be on the show. Welcome back, Tayo.
Thank you.
Good to see you on the show also. And of course, shout out to everyone watching us from all over the world. Fantastic story, Cecilia and Tayo. for the development of table tennis in Nigeria. I first saw the actually two brothers, the Mustafa brothers, in 2018 at the Nigeria Open. At the time, Musa, who is ranked #1 now in the under 11 category, was just 8. His elder brother, that one is Mustafa. I think was about 9 or 10.
Yeah.
What a story! If it was other country, Musa will become a national project. I remember when I spoke with him, he said one day he will win the Nigeria Open.
Yes.
They lost out to the first round, guys, remember, but everyone talked about them at that 2018 Nigeria Open, you know, because of the way they played. But they've been playing table tennis for some time, based in Abuja. I'm talking about 2018. 2019, they went to Ghana. He did well. This is 2021. He's already ranked #1 in the world. What do we do with this type of boy? Make him a project. Say to yourself as a country, we have found the replacement for Aaron Quadri, and start doing everything you can to help him realize his dream. What a story. His brother is also doing so well. He's ranked 18. He's ranked 17 in the under 13, while Musa is chasing him in number 18. So you see, they are making progress as a family. So the parents are probably doing their part to make sure that they become champions. What is the country doing for them?
That's why it should become a national project, Austin. Just hold yourself right there. We'll be back to you after the short break. Welcome back. Yes, we got another guest in the studio. Monday in your bunk is right here. Ini, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Good morning, Taya. Good morning, Cecilia. Great to be here and excited about the story about the table tennis sensation. You know, it's very exciting. I was listening to Austin, and you know, Austin was talking about the fact that situations like this, you get very excited and take it very seriously. Cecilia, unfortunately, we come from a country where people seldom take things seriously. And this is a very serious project that we should undertake because you don't get talents like this every day. I mean, they don't come plenty. And when you get an opportunity like this, you want to take it very seriously and build, because Aaron Quadri wasn't made in a day.
At all.
But clearly, when we have talents like this, you look around, where are the facilities, where are the exposure, where's the support that young people like this should have? Because table tennis, I tell you, is a sport that we should be dominating. I mean, I taking a 30 minutes walk the other day, and in the space of, I think, 100 meters, I saw 2 compounds where people were playing table tennis, and it's very fascinating. So great story. I'm just worried about the future of the lad.
Okay, I hope they'll take it seriously. I mean, national projects, that's what we're saying. I hope everyone is listening. Just pick this guy up and see how you can help your brothers, not just him alone, 2 of them.
And every other great talents out there.
There's so many. There's so many.
Like you just said, table tennis is like one of the favorite pastimes of Nigerians. I did that when I was a lot younger, so also played a lot of table tennis.
Can you still swing a bat?
How many times have you lost to Austin? Austin, I know how many times he has lost to you, right?
He knows the deal. Don't even go there.
Let's leave this table tennis, because we can continue with this. I won't end the show with table tennis. Quickly, we'll talk about the potential emergency that will be taking place in Tokyo. That's talking about COVID-19. I mean, there are news everywhere that they will impose another lockdown in Tokyo. That's the city where the games will be held. And for IOC President Thomas Bach is saying that it will not affect the game. Let's listen to him, then Austin, you react to this, because everyone right now is scared. It's 92 days, right, to the Olympics?
This state of emergency, which may be decided upon by the government, is in order to or is restricted to your golden week, to your holiday week, to prevent the spread of the virus, and is in particular, limited. It's a preventive measure, and for this limited time. We took this information there today, and I think, again, this is absolutely in line there with the overall policy of the government, but is not related to the Olympic Games.
All right, Austin, what do you think? I mean, are you afraid?
I've been worried, Cecilia. Sometime last week, a top government official in Japan, he's with the ruling party, he came out to say that it's time Japan gets realistic and probably come out to announce that this competition is not going to happen. You know, it's difficult for the country. The IOC, they have nothing but just, you know, hold on to faith. You know, and each time you listen to Thomas Bach, is just hoping that this Olympics will just happen, you know. But when you have state of emergency in Tokyo itself, you know, and it's worrying. But what else do you expect Thomas Bach to say other than say it won't affect the games? The games will still go on. Cecilia, Tayo, and Yobong, you guys can remember when the games was postponed last year. They lost, Japan as a country lost $1 billion just for the postponement of the competition. So it's unthinkable for them that this Olympics won't happen. But sadly, guys, it is what it is. COVID-19 is still around, and that puts some dark clouds around the possibility of this competition going on. I don't know, it's 92 days to go, and then we're still having, you know, state of emergency. At this stage, you're supposed to, you know, have some level of bubbling activities happening. Even the touch relay is not happening the way it should happen because COVID-19 is still out there. I'm worried. The other day, I was speaking to a colleague here in the UK, and he said that Japan needs to go through some sort of cleansing if we're going to have the Olympics. And I agree.
Oh, we'll just end it right there.
Yeah, I mean,
needed.
yeah, everyone is worried. In your bong, the state of emergency is just supposed to be between April till May. So the Olympics is in July 2023.
Yeah.
Are we worried? What's that to be worried about?
It's just June you have in between.
Yeah, and
what do you think?
I mean,
it's something to be worried about. I mean, when you think about the fact, you know, the thought of the Olympics not happening, I think is unthinkable. I mean, it's
I agree.
it's just unthinkable. They're unthinkable financially because you talk about the consequences of this tournament not happening. I mean, not just on Japan alone, but the countries who are participating, the athletes, the amount of money who's gone down the drain in terms of training and practicing and all of that. It's just unthinkable.
Okay, let's not think about it.
We can only hope.
Yeah, let's not think about it.
It will go ahead. It's going to be low key and all of that.
It will go ahead.
Scale down.
Pray, scale down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's leave that. And still, let's talk about the National Sports Festival. Still the fallout from it, and different states have been honoring their athletes. And the latest happens to be Oyo State. Sheyi Makinde, you know, promising giving cash rewards to these athletes for their performance. Oyo athletes were really, you know, happy in it because they were able to win medals. You know, some won gold and silver and bronze medals. Because of that, you know, the governor had to, you know, honor these athletes and give them what they deserve. And the good thing is, it's happening really, really fast. They didn't have to wait, you know, after 2-3 years to get there. So it's immediate.
For some weird reason, I'm not a fan of this thing. I think this is jamboree. I feel I'm not a fan of the ceremony.
Okay, yes, okay.
Yes,
Right.
I don't have a problem with the act. I'm not just a fan of the ceremony.
You can just do it and we don't have to
I just think that
do the media frenzy.
A contingent went out there to represent the states. They did very well. Get them in, award them. No point making a ceremony of it.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
You know, no point making a ceremony of it. But you have to reward them clearly because it's a lot of hard work to go out there to represent the state. And when you think about the general welfare of athletes in this country, you would see how important this is because this is probably the only opportunity they have to get
we call it
some form of remuneration.
Cash out for the athletes.
Exactly. So I just don't. I'm not a big fan of the ceremony.
All right.
I like the fact that the athletes are rewarded, and again, not just a reward. Because the very essence of the National Sports Festival is to discover talent, build talent for the nation, for international meets. And then it's great. We do all of this, and then we go back to sleep.
Can't go back to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
That's my
some
worry.
states
You
actually,
do all
I
this
think
and
some
go back
states
to
are
sleep.
improving it now. You have Edo, Delta, I can't say much of Rivers, but I know there are some states that are actually building athletes. Cross River, for instance, they started a project, where you have local government competitions and all in all sports.
In his point is, okay, when you discover this talent, don't
What
go to
next?
sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Continue to develop them. That's in his point. And shout out to Oyo State. I was very impressed.
31 gold medals.
Incredible. I didn't think they'll get up to that. 102 medals in total. 31 gold. That's major.
Massive. That's massive.
I think that's a lot of improvement. Right? I mean, from the southwest.
Yeah,
it's
very
because
interesting.
usually the south teams that really go out there. But you're seeing a contingent from Lagos did very well, or your state did very well. It's very impressive, and they can only build on that.
Yeah, they can build on that. Let's listen to Shea Makinde, talking about these athletes and what he intends to do in developing sports in the states.
This government will continue to encourage sports development, even at the grassroots level. That's why across the geopolitical zones of Oyo State, we are upgrading sports facilities in there. So we should start seeing the result from that investment. I'm sure we'll see instant results at the next National Sports Festival.
Instant results in the next National Sports Festival. That's next year, 2022, and that's in Delta State. And Delta, with the way they swept everything, 158 gold medals. Yeah,
he hasn't said they will overtake.
There will be an improvement.
As a state. So that's what we'll look forward to.
Okay, Austin, quickly, you want to chip in on this one quickly before we move to Nigerian Women's Football League, Premiership Super 6.
Yeah, it got me talking, just like in Obong, we've always said that sports shouldn't be used as a tool for propaganda, but shout out to Oyo State, shout out to Governor Shea Makinde. He's a fine gentleman and he's doing so much for infrastructure development in Oyo State, so he gets a thumb up for that, but when you see things like this, you start saying, he probably did, but I've loved to see videos of him talking to these athletes before they went to Benin, or try to make them feel loved. You're going to represent the state, do well, that can go far, in motivating them. But it didn't stop the Oyo State, team. 31 gold medals, huge improvement, finishing just below Lagos. Lagos finished fifth, they were sixth. So this is good. It's all about sustaining the momentum. So when they do things like this, we say to them, let's do more.
Do more. That's what is important. Quickly move to Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership. Yes, that's what we're going to next. The Super 6. Surprisingly, the team that's actually at the top right now, yes, it's just 2 games higher. I know that. You remind me. I know you're going to do that. So just take a look at the games for today. You have Match Day 3, Edo Queens and FC Robo. Edo Queens redemption time for them. Rivers Angels and Bayelsa Queens. Rivers on 2 points, Bayelsa on 1 point. I'm talking about Bayelsa right now. Sunshine Queens and Delta Queens. Yes, these two also need to slug it out. Sunshine Queens, and they're all on same 4 points, but FC Robo topping based on the fact that, got a better goal difference by virtue of the fact they defeated Bayelsa Queens by 2-0. So everyone is all locked in now. All locked in.
Massive 6-pointer. Rivers Angels, Bayelsa Queens. And Bayelsa Queens will be very disappointed. I think they lost to FC Robo.
2-0.
I mean, no one saw that coming. That came completely out of the blue. And it's a must-win game for them. And the incentive is very attractive. The Leo playing on the continent, the first ever CAF Women's Champions League. It would be very interesting to see what happens between both teams, because Rivers Angels haven't played fantastically themselves too, and it's neither here nor there, but going into this sort of game, you would expect that Bayelsa Queens will find the inspiration to come up trumps, because big teams, most of the times when you see big teams, quality teams, they tend to come to the party when they play against a team that is probably as good as them. And that's where I'm thinking that Bielsa Queens might finally come to the realization that they are in a tournament to win a trophy and qualify for a CAF assignment. It would be very interesting what happens today.
Yeah, talking about CAF assignment, briefly, just mentioned Eimba. I mean, finally they traveled late last night and they should be in Libya. They're playing Ali Benghazi tonight at 10 p.m. Nigerian time. Wish them all the best.
Of course.
Because if you have to dwell on the traveling and all that, it's not something you really want to talk about. It's something you really don't want to see in modern football. You don't travel midnight to the day
we'll talk more about this when the results
is out, right? Yeah, that's what we'll talk more about it when the results are out. Okay, good luck to Eimba. We'll move away from that and quickly go to, the fallout from European
Super League. Defunct.
Defunct or boshed.
Yeah, okay. You can describe it either. Anyways, you've seen the Don himself, Florentino Perez. What a man.
What a man.
What a man. What a man. I mean, I've seen everything he's been saying in the last 24 hours. The quotes are just mind-blowing, the kind of things he's still saying. But for you, let's get your thoughts, first of all, on everything that went down in the last 48 hours in the world of football. The Super League being dead in the water before even starting. First of all,
it's on ice. I'm not sure it's dead.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Anyway, it's on ice. I can describe it however, but your thoughts on the idea itself, what the founding clubs were trying to do in the first place. Of course, obviously, fans have kicked against it, and that's why we are where we are now.
For me, I thought that it was just a case of power play. I thought that it was the big clubs trying to flex their muscles, trying to show UEFA that we can do this thing without you. I thought that's what it was, because clearly it's a situation where the big clubs want more money. And I was talking to someone and I said, the reason we watch the Champions League is not because of Dinamo Zagreb, with due respect to them. It's not because of Lokomotiv Moscow. It's because of the Real Madrid, the Barcelonas. And clearly, these people bring in the numbers. And in my opinion, they're well within their right to sit down and say, we want more money. We deserve more money, and rightfully so. I just feel that the way they went about it wasn't quite smooth. I don't think it was carefully thought over this idea of just making this thing happen, because I thought it was just it felt like tyranny. It felt like people who just woke up and just say we can take over this thing, and not considering the opinion of the fans and the negativity that they didn't quite expect was just everywhere. And it's something that I quite agree with Florentino Perez. I don't think this idea is dead. I don't think it's dead, because I just feel that these people will still go back and sit back if UEFA doesn't sit with these guys and have a talk.
Do what they want.
And clearly, at some point, because there's so much money. There's so much money we're talking about here. And the clubs, people say it's very greedy. And I quite understand. And I'm tired. This is a personal question. I know I shouldn't be asking questions here, but
why not?
I'm just wondering, if you were to be in a place where you're bringing so much money into the organization and you think you're being underpaid, is it greedy to ask for more?
No, it's not.
That's what I'm thinking. I just feel that the way they went about it is not right. The idea of the Super League is not right. But there has to be some compromise from UEFA at some point to sit with these guys and say, what exactly do you want? We can come to an agreement. But to say that they could pool a Super League and play matches every midweek was absolute shambles. It was never going to happen. It was never going to happen.
Let's listen to the founder now, and of course, the chairman of Juventus, talking about Andre Agnelli. He says no regrets and blaming politicians. That's the reason it did not hold.
Look, I think, to be frank and honest, no. Evidently, that's not the case. So, I mean, I wouldn't be talking so much about where that project has gone. I remain convinced of the beauty of that project, of the value it would have developed to the pyramid, of the creation of the best competition in the world. But admittedly, no. I mean, I don't think that that project is now still up and running.
Okay, Austin, I mean, you've listened to Agnelli saying that there's no regrets about it at all, so it's something they really are still thinking of doing. What do you think? Should they still come up with it, or they should just let it die a natural death?
It's up to them. It's up to, you know, their objectives. But Cecilia, guys, I've come to realize that with football, you never say never. Monsieur Wenger told us that he's been hearing about this league since 2009.
Yeah.
You know, so whether or not it's happening on now or in the next 10 years, the fact is that the big clubs are not happy. And COVID-19 has come to make the situation there. And they're the ones feeling the pain. FIFA and UEFA, in their own way, they're still cashing out because these clubs are bringing in those monies that they need. So they're the ones that are actually feeling everything, guys. So I concluded with everything that has happened the last 2 days, that there was something really big that was about to come out of football, and then these guys said, let's go and distract them. And so they threw the Super League discussion on us. We're waiting. We'll know. We'll see it.
We're waiting, fingers crossed, yes. Also, we need to go on a short break. We'll be back after this, and because we'll talk about Tottenham Hotspur and Man City in the English Premier League.
Yeah, first of all, the feeling, yes, great. It's a massive relief. Obviously, it's been a bit of a whirlwind the last 2 or 3 days, but thankfully we got the win. And most importantly, I thought the second half we were outstanding. The performance, the commitment, the energy was brilliant, because I think in the first half we found it very difficult. Found it quite tough to get out. They were very good. They created some chances. Hugo pulled off 2 world-class saves for us, and but I thought as the game went on, I thought we gained control of it, and I thought there was only one team that was going to win the match. Listen, Gareth's an exceptional player. He's had an exceptional career. I think especially when you don't have Harry in the team, you need someone who can produce moments in the final third, and that was the decision for Gareth today. And thankfully, he's repaid that. The effort he showed, and also the quality for the finish was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, that's Ryan Mason, the youngest manager right now in the English Premier League. Yes, he's interim, but if the results are good, I'm sure it's going to be there till the end of the season. Quickly, Austin, what do you make of Ryan Mason, the fact that he won his first game, and also starting Gareth Bale? We have seen Gareth Bale hasn't started a game for a while before Jose Mourinho was booted out.
As in listening to him, you can tell that he's overwhelmed. That was a good landing point for him after the exit of Jose Mourinho. I've tagged Mourinho's stay at Tottenham as 17 turbulent months of, you know, trying to lead the North London club. But with Mason winning that one, and it didn't come without giving him some nerves. You know, right after VAR cancelled that goal by Son, and then, you know, they got that lucky penalty to go on to win it. So this should boost his confidence. This is a sort of push he needs till the end of the season. And with that, I think Tottenham climbed 7th on the log with 50 points. I think they've been their own undoing. I think it got to some point they lost concentration. And maybe with the push Jose Mourinho was giving, they weren't used to it as a club. So they are where they are. But shout out to Mason. It is what it is. He now has the job. He's in charge of these guys, and he must give Tottenham some good ending this season.
Some good ending this season. Austin, I will just leave it right there. Thank you so much for joining us today again.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. Thank you, guys. Always a delight to be on the show. Thank you.
Have a great day. Yeah, quickly, he mentioned something that maybe the players don't like the push that Jose was giving to them. And if you check immediately after that game, Gareth Bale interview was the fact that, I mean, they needed to attack more, and they did that, and they got the results. Is that like, is that
what they attack more in that game?
Yeah, that's what I said.
What are we talking about? I watched the game.
I watched the
they
game.
got very lucky. Southampton could have been
the first half
in the first half.
First half was horrible.
I thought in the first half they were very lethargic, and expected from a new coach, maybe new tactics, but I thought Southampton played very well in the first half, and we're not very fortunate to be leading 1-0 only, because it should have been 2-0, like Tayo said, 2-0, 3-0. But in the second half, there was a lot more intensity from Spurs. They came out, they played with real energy. And, I mean, if you're losing 1-0, what are you expected to do? You've got to go for it. You know, you've got to attack that. And they did. Very fortunate as well, because in the second half, Southampton had a few half chances that probably they should have taken.
And when they lost the focal point, Danny Ings, the game plan just went.
Exactly. So, and when you lose someone like that, you know, the game plan just absolutely shattered. But credit to Gareth Bale, took his chance very well. And Son, you know what to expect from Son. Quality all the time. And Ryan Mason, always good to start well. It's always good to start with, really, because he's there in temporary charge. I don't think he will be sick in his head to think he will get the job on a permanent basis, because I'm sure Tottenham would want a big manager to come in, because they would think that they are at the time where they need to start thinking progressively. But Ryan Mason, very surprised, quite honestly, with the choice, because I would have thought that Ledley King, who was part of the Mourinho's managerial team, because he's a legend at Tottenham, maybe would have been put in temporary charge. But congratulations to Ryan Mason.
What a story as well. A few years ago, had to end his career prematurely after suffering that head injury. So it's great to see.
Whatever happens in other games, but this is a good step. And Manchester City, that is waiting in the wings in Carabao Cup Final, were also in action. And they defeated Aston Villa 2-1. That game was a bit like, was it tricky? Yeah. Because of
I personally think that the sacking of Jose on Monday, or on
Monday morning,
it was on Monday. The sacking of Jose hands Man City their first trophy this season.
Already?
I personally think so. I thought it was a diabolical decision. You don't fire a manager 6 days. A manager of Mourinho's caliber, a manager who you know has got a good track record in cup competitions, you fire him 6 days to the final against Pep. You know, it's a ridiculous decision in my opinion.
Very outrageous.
That's how I said. You know, when I heard the news, the first thing that came to mind, this is not about the result. There's something
behind the scenes.
Else may have happened.
And we started seeing reports of what could have happened. Of course, it's all speculation, so we're going to leave it at that. Cup final, Sunday, City, Tottenham. We'll see. Before we got the papers, a couple of tweets. Cecilia, let's just do that before we go. Let me take AGK Eze first while you sort out yours as well. AGK Eze, you're saying the highlights. One of the highlights of the UEFA Champions League, in your opinion, is the mystery of the underdog. All right? That's a fair point, underdog situations. But
it is.
Underdogs.
But how many underdogs have really gone and thrown a cat among the pigeons? How many? Maybe Porto.
That's about
how many years ago? 17 years ago.
Porto is also a big club.
Big club.
Now, so they cannot even be seen as an underdog, because at the time they were Portuguese champions and they were holders of the other European competition, UEFA Cup.
Right.
So they're not really an underdog. You're not going to get Dinamo Zagreb in the final of the Champions League. That's what Sheffield wants, but it's not going to happen because when you play against the big guns, I mean, you're asking for too much.
Okay.
Noble Flyman.
Okay, Noble Flyman says a quick caveat, guys. The European Super League isn't over.
Of course.
But the key word is it's suspended.
Yes.
I see this resurfacing again as China and the Far East has the money to spend. Please tell Fatah Osho and his boys that they carry 200 million responsibility on their shoulders. They don't know that. I think they need to win that game. If they don't, we're waiting for them. And that's why Law Alpha says a proposed European Super League is a rip-off and ought to be the reason against. Okay, all right. If Eibar failed to beat the Algerian team today, they may be bundled out of the competition. We are waiting for them, right? It's that tomorrow. You leave midnight when you're playing a game tonight. You're going to Libya. Let's quickly take a look at the papers. Sporting Sun here. Osimhen not scared of Onuachu and Iheanacho. That's the strike battle for. I mean,
she should be scared actually.
Really?
If I were him, I would be scared because on merit. If you're not scoring goals and the other guy is scoring goals, I mean, the guy who's scoring goals should play on merit.
But we've seen, I mean, all of them on the field. We saw Iheanacho and Onuachu, on the field in the game against Benin Republic towards in the final moments of the game.
But it can't work. It can't work because
we can actually play two strikers, right?
It can't work because I think Iheanacho can play with any of them. I don't think Osimhen can play with Onuachu.
But he did. I mean, the goal Onuachu scored was an assist from Iheanacho.
Osimhen wants to be in the same space Onuachu Onuachu wants to be in.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a problem. But for Iheanacho can drift.
Yeah.
He can drop deep. Osimhen can drop deep as well.
He can,
but
yeah.
Back to goal, I don't think he's that good. I like to see him in the centre forward position.
that's
I want him to be in the
position.
18.
Yeah.
And that's where Onuachu wants to be. He said it himself. I'm an 18-yard striker.
He is.
And that's what he does. Give you the
think-
service. He will give you the
But
goals.
I think Osimhen, as you mentioned, Osimhen can do all that. I mean, drifting and all that,
Yeah, I
play
know.
from the wings. But Onuachu cannot do that. So why not
can.
make Onuachu?
Cecilia, let's not forget this is just a headline. Not being scared and all of that. No,
It's something like that. Okay, kind of still in shock over Iwobi's sale. Okay, yeah.
Come on,
It wasn't,
come on,
but he's
Kanu.
doing well in Everton, so forget that. What's the
That's
last
how I
one? Yeah.
Complete sports. Let's quickly do that. Oyekuru suffers muscle injury. That's very, very painful. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. Osimhen as well to his head. Says Eagles have got everything to win the AFCON. And
I agree.
Everyone
I
talked to
I
are
totally
saying
agree.
if the Eagles don't
It
win the
has to be this
AFCON,
one.
it has to be this one.
It has to be the next AFCON because they're a bunch of talent, they're a bunch of quality we have in our side. We should go to the AFCON like a bulldozer, just breeze past everybody and win the AFCON. That's what I'm expecting. Anything short of that, the manager's head should be on the chopping block.
You're one of them as well. Because everyone, all my guys have said the same thing. No AFCON, get a rush, should just go from there.
Simple
It's
as
a lot
that.
of pressure because the other teams are coming to win as well. So let's,
Get it right, you've heard the message. Let
us relax.
And ensure that we
Let
win
us
the
relax.
AFCON, or else,
But
according to these guys, you should be going.
But there's
Thank you,
no
Ini,
doubt.
for coming to the program.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate your
brilliant
time.
here.
All right, thank you
Thank
for
you.
watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbedu. Have a great day.
I am Tyre Salam. Enjoy the rest of your day. Join us tomorrow if you can. Bye for now.